We'll Make Storms is filling in for Grayson this weekend, and the most anticipated golf tournament of the year wraps up today.
Yeah, you gotta love Masters Sunday. It's the best in the world vie for the green jacket.
It's pretty cool, too, because no Australian has ever won the coveted jacket, but 3 Aussies are right in the mix.
On the upslope, he's just popped this out. Just cut the legs out from underneath it. Oh, yes!
Jason Day leads at 8 under on 2 now. Brant Snedeker drains the birdie on 1, moves to a share of the lead. The defending champ Bubba Watson on the 12th, playing his 6th shot out of the sand, and it's too much. He makes a 10, shot a 77, 7 over for the tournament. On the 7th, Angel Cabrera with a 9-iron. His approach just clears the bunker, and it rolls to within a foot. A tap-in bird gives him a 2-shot lead. Adam Scott on 13. He'll drop it. That moves him to 7 under for birdie. Cabrera on 13 falls short, and it's into Rays Creek. Bogey takes him back to 7 under. The leaders were switching off all back 9. We'll skip right to 18 to see Scott's birdie putt. Unbelievable. The crowd goes nuts. That gives him an outright lead at 9 under. Cabrera also makes his bird on 18, so we're off to a playoff. We'll need 2 holes for it. Comes down to a putt-off on the 10th. And the 2013 Masters champion is an Australian. The Edmonton Rush have had major trouble winning on home turf. They lead the NLL's West Division and have clinched a playoff spot, but it's the home playoff date that they now seek. Edmonton fans have never seen a playoff game at Rexall Place, and they're facing the Rochester Nighthawks this afternoon. Rochester wants to take away that home playoff option for the Rush. Coming out strong is Mike Accursi, and the Hawks go up 2-0.
Back to Paulus. Down low, Dawson. Tick-tack goal. And the Nighthawks are lighting up the Edmonton Rush.
Dan Dawson makes it 4-0 Hawks in 8 minutes. Aaron Bold comes out. Brody McDonald goes in. The Rush desperate for some offense, and they will find it. A few minutes later, with some great passing, Corey Small gets the Rush on the board. And they make a bit of a comeback here, not only trailing by 1, missed the net for Curtis Knight, but it bounces right to Jared Davis. Just like that, it's a tie game at 4s. Edmonton keeps tacking him on, now up 7-5. Stephen Kehoe shoots it through traffic. Nighthawks back to within 1.
There's a little stutter step, going, diving, shooting, scores!
Joe Walters literally crashes the net, 8-7 Rush. In the 4th, Zach Greer makes it 11-7. Rush hold on to win 14-10. They still haven't clinched that home playoff berth, but they are definitely a step closer.
It's really important for this organization, this franchise, and our fans that we're going to be home for a playoff game in a couple weeks. So it was a really, probably the biggest win in franchise history today.
It's a big advantage to be at home, and I mean, playing at home is one thing, but not having to play on the road is probably the biggest thing.
Embarrassing was a word repeated over and over in the Oilers dressing room last night. The final battle of Alberta for the season, and the Oil failed to show up.
You're going to lose games, but it can't happen that way. I mean, I'll compete in our own rink. It's embarrassing to lose that way.
Don't have a point in 5 games, I think all of us, and that's unacceptable. I mean, we play 20 minutes a night and we don't have a goal. It's embarrassing.
So the team was embarrassed, well, so were the fans. The Flames are a team torn apart by a retooling and had 6 AHL players in the lineup.
And as the final seconds tick off the clock, listen to this.
The fans deserved a much better game than that, and you know, we really have to look ourselves in the mirror here after this one and figure out what kind of a team we want to be.
Well, you better figure it out soon. There are only 7 games left in this season. And despite a brutal effort from the Oilers last night, good news came to one of the veterans this morning. Ryan Smith has been named the Oilers nominee for the 2013 Bill Masterson Memorial Trophy. This award goes to the player who best exemplifies the qualities of perseverance, sportsmanship, and dedication to hockey. In his 18 NHL season, 14 of those with the Oilers, the Banff native has 10 points in 40 games. Most fans know that he's not here for point production anymore. He's on this team as a leader in the dressing room. Past winners of this award include Steve Yzerman, Teemu Selanne, and most recently, Max Pacioretty. Over to some early NHL action. Blues hosting the Blackhawks. It's the end of the first. Jonathan Toews gets hit hard into the boards. He would go to the quiet room, but does return. Now in the second, Brian Elliott has been rolling with 3 straight shutouts coming into this game, hoping for a fourth. Brian Bickle shuts that one down, gets his own rebound. 1-0 Chicago, third period. Blues throwing everything at the net. Jay Bouwmeester's shot from the point, and it's a mad scramble. Corey Crawford gets a little help there. Seconds later, Patrick Kane with a one-timer. Scores shorthanded. This time Crawford gets the shutout. Hawks win 2-1. The AJHL playoffs are proving to be as exciting as ever. That may have a lot to do with the Brooks play-by-play man.
Here's Lee back to the blue line from Muscovy. His shot. This is goal!
Well, he sure makes the game sound exciting, and they have been. The Bandits took Game 1 in double overtime and then Game 2 with a 5-1 victory. That, however, was on home ice. The tables turn for Game 3 and 4 in this best-of-7 series. The Spruce Grove Saints will host the next 2 in the 2013 Gas Drive Cup. Game 3 goes tomorrow from the Grant Fuhr Arena. In the majors, Blue Jays looking for their first sweep of the year against the Royals. Brandon Morrow on the mound. He was on fire. Salvador Perez strikes out on the slider. 1-0 Jays after 2. Top of the 6th tie game, Edwin Encarnacion crushes it to left center, and the Jays back on top. Bottom of the inning, Lorenzo Cain ground ball up the middle. Billy Butler rounds to third, and we're tied. Skip to the 9th. Runner on second for Alex Gordon. Lines his first pitch to the right side, and the throw is off target. Kansas City takes the walk-off 3-2 victory. And finally, the Detroit Lions have signed a new kicker based on a YouTube sensation. Havard Rugland is a soccer player by trade who made his YouTube video called Kickalicious. It was a hit. With nearly 3 million views, the Norwegian trick kicker put himself on the radar for a few NFL teams. The New York Jets came calling first, but they didn't sign him. Then the Detroit Lions got in touch with him and gave him an undisclosed contract. Good to have a guy on your team, as he can hit a 60-yard field goal.
You don't really see a lot of Norwegian players in the NFL, the CFL. I've actually been to Norway, and I can tell you most of them don't even understand the rules of North American football. So I imagine there'd be a bit of a learning curve there.
Yeah, well, he is a soccer player, so it's pretty cool, though.
Good for
Very
him.
cool.
Yeah.
Thanks very much,
Lesson
Meg.
for all the amateur athletes. We'll be right back.